Today, I would like to talk about entertainment on the go. And not actually even necessarily entertainment on the go, but more of an entertainment free of limitations of your living room, free of limitations of your laptop, free of limitations even of your phone. And the only thing that comes to mind is actual portable entertainment abilities of VR glasses, AR glasses, whatever you want to call it. But by themselves, those type of glasses, this particular one is X-Real Air 2. There's plenty of other companies. But here's the thing, this is just a screen. It's just your extended monitor. It's a very good one, but it's just a monitor. It does not have any brains of its own. So in order to actually view something, you have to plug it in to something, right? So it's not really independent device, if you will. So the first thing come to mind, for me at least, since I already own X-Real Air glasses, is obviously the Beam, which is a companion device, but there's a very big but to this. It's not there yet. It's just not. They're working hard on it, they're producing new software for it, they keep pushing new updates, which is great. As of right now, there is only 2 native apps. One is Netflix and another is Prime Video. So if you're looking for something else, you're out of luck. And more than that, there's been a lot of complaints that actually resolution from those apps via Beam is subpar, let's put it that way. Once again, I'm pretty sure this is something that can be easily resolved by software updates, but as of right now, this just doesn't cut it, at least not to me. So I went down the rabbit hole and the path of the internet to find a solution, to find something that actually can bring more options and less of limitations. And I found this guy. This is a Rokid Station. I apologize if I pronounce Rokid wrong, like it's Rokid, I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about. So they also have their own AR glasses, and now they have this Rokid Station, which is actually brilliant. They didn't try to reinvent the wheel whatsoever. This is just Android TV. It's officially certified by Google. It is run by Android TV OS 12, I believe. So it has access to Google Play Store, which means you can install pretty much anything with the limitations of Android. As of right now, this particular OS, this particular device does not support Netflix. You can dig in the internet on your own if you like to why. It's just Netflix Google thing, but yeah, OS 12, Google TV OS 12 and Netflix does not play along. You can jailbreak, you can install other installers and actually still watch Netflix on it, but it's not as user-friendly as just, you know, click a button, install application on official store and go. Just so you're aware. However, everything else on this device, in my opinion, is amazing. Let's take a closer look. First thing first, to me, is the quality. Obviously, you know, like for everyone, it's made very good. It's very solid. There's no like crackles, no noises. I can squeeze it all like however I like. There's nothing except the button, obviously it makes sound. Very solidly built. Battery lasts, I would say, at least 5 hours, so which is more than plenty. And again, because this is a standalone Google TV device, it has its own memory, 28 GB. Maybe it's not a crazy amount, but I think it's plenty. And what this allows is for you to save a show, let's say on YouTube, Netflix, again, whatever application you're using, you can save it to watch it later. Best example I can think of, for me personally, I travel time to time, and when you're on a plane, you don't really have a good Wi-Fi. Even if you do, it's just not good. So if you save ahead, you know, a season of your show or whatever you need for a couple hours entertainment on this, which is again 28 GB is plenty for those purposes, and then you can just plug in and you can watch whatever you want. It was a very good quality, absolutely no issues with quality at all from a video perspective. Next thing is not necessarily such an amazing job by Rokid, but it's something that I always had issues with X-Real Beam. It's the button sound. Like, I will show it to you. I try to use it sometimes at night, you know, when my wife falls asleep before me and I don't want to make a lot of, you know, screen brightness, noise. So I watch, instead of on TV or projector, I watch on my glasses some, you know, shows. So you have to navigate, you have to, you know, select, you have to find a show and stuff. So you have to click buttons. And in the middle of the night, clicking this bad boy is... It's not good. It's very loud. I don't know why. I'm not sure why. I think just a rubber membrane would have solved it, but it seems like a more like a harsh plastic type of button. I'm not sure. And now listen to this. I'm not sure you can even hear it because it's just really that good. It's absolutely soft. I'm pretty sure they do use a rubber membrane, and that's why it's just muffled. You can hear it, that's there. You can feel that you actually press the button, so the feedback is there, but it's very subtle. And it's not gonna annoy anyone. Nobody gonna complain like, oh my gosh, can you stop clicking? You know, I'm trying to fall asleep. So for this purposes, it's perfect. Even in the public, you don't want to constantly like click, 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 click. You know, it's just not good. So huge plus on this. Next thing is actually just, you know, kind of given, because this is Android OS. Again, your options are pretty much limitless. I don't know what you're looking for, but you probably can do it because of options that Android brings with it. You can find an app for shows from a different country. You can find an app to check the weather in Antarctica. You can find an app for anything. And without jailbreaking, without, you know, doing anything crazy, or it's user-friendly. You just go to App Store, you find an app, search by whatever keywords you need, and you download it. It says games. Of course, those are pretty simplistic games, and you know, this is not a controller, although it does have a Bluetooth, so you can connect controller for that matter. But I don't envision anybody actually gaming on this that much. But you know, if it's a little like Frogger type of game, you know, or like, you know, simple puzzle game, you can absolutely install it here and play on this device, no problem, with your glasses, with, you know, privacy and not disturbing anyone. Now, another kind of edge case scenario I want to talk about, but I think personally for me, I do envision it as a benefit, is that it is indeed basically brains of a smart TV in your pocket. And I will explain what I mean, why it's a benefit. I recently traveled to another country where I stayed in a hotel, obviously like anyone would, and the days are short in the winter, right? So I was kind of forced to go to a hotel quite early, and I was bored. I turn on TV and there's literally like 4 channels, and those 4 channels not necessarily in English, and it's not the shows I want to watch, and it's just, there is no entertainment. So I ended up kind of bored, and I did not get my laptop with me, so I had to hold the iPad. It's just not the same experience, you know? So if I had this little guy, I could literally just plug it in inside TV, and I would have an actually full smart TV experience with my apps already logged in, already everything like how I like it, because it's the same profiles and everything, it stores it. And if I need to charge the battery, I can plug it in at the same time. It has 2 ports. So first of all, it can last for like 5 hours. Second of all, I can plug it in if I need it for longer at the same time while I'm using it. So you basically bring in your own personal smart TV wherever you go. It doesn't matter if you're using it on smart glasses like those guys, or if you actually plug it in on the TV. So it's pretty cool. I think it's really nice option, which sure, maybe a little bit of an edge case scenario, but I really like it. And if you think that I'm crazy talking about bringing this to another country just to watch it on the TV, well, think again. Maybe I am, but it actually comes with the Android TV remote controller. So I see no other reason whatsoever for this exist with this, except if you're gonna plug it in TV. I mean, if it's in your pocket, what would you be using this for, right? So and it comes with it. So I think they had similar idea with what I have in mind. How can I possibly expand the use of this? And I like it. Why not? Why not make one device do multiple things? Now, so it all sounds great and amazing, and honestly, I do love this device and I do use it pretty much every day. However, there's definitely negative sides. Like with absolutely anything in our life, any device, anything has some positives and has not so positives. Let's talk about those. So, number one, it has two ports. It has USB-C exclusively for charging. By the way, it's bidirectional, so which means you can use this just as a power bank. If you plug in your phone or something, you can charge. So that's great, that's awesome, no complaints there, it's amazing. And as I mentioned before, you can charge while using it. So if you really want to watch something with your glasses or something for more than like 5 hours, you can, no problem, absolutely. Or just don't charge as frequently, absolutely great. However, I have a huge problem with the second port. Second port is micro HDMI. Apart from being weird option, who uses micro HDMI anymore? Even their own website actually miscategorizes and saying that it's mini HDMI, which it is not. It is micro HDMI, which two very different ports, by the way. But cable obviously comes with it, so it's not like you need to think about it. But if you were to shop for like replacement cable or for something, you know, some accessory, just letting you know, this is not mini HDMI, this is micro HDMI. So with that being said, it comes with a cable that is micro HDMI to USB-C. It seems very weird to me. I don't understand. I'm not an engineer. I'm not gonna try to pretend that I understand how any of this works, but we all well aware that USB-C is very well capable of video, audio output at any like perfect quality and awesome speeds. This seems absolutely unnecessarily silly. And then another part, then my complaint number 3. This little thing, it comes on a cable that comes with it. I were not able to find a different cable. I wanted to try it with something just HDMI micro to USB-C, just directly. But because this is such a weird, rare format, HDMI micro, nobody uses this anymore, ever. I can't find it. If you are, please let me know, send me a link. I would love to try it out. But the point being, right now I have to use their cable, with my glasses at least, and it comes with this like little metal dongle in the middle. There's no buttons, there's no switches, it's just there, okay? So I'm assuming it does have some sort of like chips, some sort of processing power in it. I don't know what it does, I'm not gonna pretend that I understand, but it gets scorching hot. Like, I'm not exaggerating, you cannot hold it in your hand. And it kind of goes up and down. It does not have any cooling, it does not have any vents. And I would be watching a show and at some points it's like, yeah, it's warm, you know, sure, I can feel it. And at other points, while still just continuing doing the same thing, it would be so hot, you cannot touch it to the skin. And I'm not exaggerating, like, it's extremely hot. It won't like give you a burn, but you can't comfortably hold it at all. Like, no, if it touches your skin accidentally, you will immediately like push it away. This seems bad. Again, I don't know what's the purpose of it. I would love to test just direct cable and see if it will work or not. Because I'm assuming there is some purpose to it, right? And something gets hot, so I guess there's some processing going on, but it's really hot. The device itself does get warm, but absolutely normal. It does not have any cooling, no vents, no insertion, nothing, but it doesn't get that hot. This just gets warm, like, you know, your normal phone, cell phone, if you would use it for like over an hour or so actively, like, it does get a bit warm, but that's it. So not a big deal at all. Now, one of my next complaints is, you know, it's not for everyone. Value is relative for everybody. Somebody have one perspective of value, somebody has others. So I think, although this is a great device, what essentially this is a Google TV stick with a battery attached to it, fairly small battery. So if you take those two items together, you would come up with roughly maybe $50–60 price point. However, it doesn't exist. We can just duct tape two of those devices, so they build it together. This thing, depending, like at the time when I was purchasing, depending where you can find it, like eBay, Amazon, or like some other websites directly maybe, it ranges between $150 and $200. I think it's a little bit too much, I'm not gonna lie. Even in comparison to this, the X-Real Beam, this costs right now, they I believe have some discounts, it's $100. So it's 50 to 100% higher price. And yes, build quality is great, everything is good, and it comes with some sort of unnecessary accessories like this. I did explain you my edge case scenario, but why not just sell it separately for the people like me who actually need it? I'm pretty sure vast majority of people who buys this not gonna need this. They just, I don't know, not everybody travels that often, and not everybody who even travels often care about this. So this is not for everyone. I don't think this should be included for everyone. It's just the price that gets pushed to a consumer for no reason. So the price is a negative. There is no other way to put it. It's too expensive for what it is. But now let's try to assert all those positives and negatives all together and try to summarize into a simple statement. Would I recommend anyone to actually purchase it with their hard-earned money, and would I recommend using this? And the answer is extremely simple. I'm not gonna try to pretend like, oh, it's everybody's different case. No, the answer is very simple, is yes. If you own a pair of AR glasses, it's 100,000,000% yes. Simply because nothing comes close. There is no competition. I'm not saying that this is so amazing. I'm saying that this is the only option, because your only other option is this, which is not really in the same category. See, what this does is creates a new options for how you interact with your glasses, especially with the X-Real, obviously, glasses. So it creates different modes for your viewing, like when it's following, when it's like prevents shaking, when it's in a corner. This is kind of the main reason for this device. It doesn't do well media consumption. It doesn't do well streaming. It just doesn't do, it's not designed for that, I think. At least not at this point. By the time I'm doing this review, they're not in the same categories. They're just not. They might look like it, but they're not. So I searched a lot of options. I searched a lot of websites, and honestly, this is your only option. That's all you got. And I think it does the job well, as long as you're comfortable with the price point, as long as you understand the limitations of some strange cabling options. Everything is perfect. And their standard cable, if you do own X-Real Airs, their standard cable fits pretty well. It's slightly larger than the glasses earpiece, but not by a large margin. So you can see that it does sticks out just a little bit, but it's not a big deal at all. It kind of fits, you know, it works perfect. And it's very, very, you know, good connection. Nothing is loose. Like overall, like I say, the quality is pretty good. So yes, I would definitely recommend it. There's nothing to review from me from a software perspective, because that's going to be useless. If you ever own Google Smart TV, you know everything there is to know. It's a Google Smart TV. You can install anything, you can use it. There's directional buttons, up, left, right. There's a menu button, there's a go button, there's application button, and there's a setting button. There's a volume control, and that's pretty much all to it. So the only other, very specific to X-Real Air owners, everybody else can disregard this. If you own Rokid glasses, obviously it's gonna work seamlessly. If you own one of the X-Real glasses, somehow audio does not work with the glasses audio. I personally, I couldn't care less, because I just use earbuds. I've never been one of those people who blast music out loud or whatever they're watching on a phone, or you know, anything else. So I always use wireless headphones, and it works perfect, no problem. Connect and go, it remembers it, no issues. So if this is a problem for you, you own X-Real Air and you want to use actual built-in speakers in the glasses, For whatever reason, it does not work. I cannot really tell you why. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't work, but it doesn't. I tested quite multiple times, multiple glasses. Doesn't work with the first generation of X-Trail Air, doesn't work with the second either. It's just, maybe it's a Rokid thing, maybe they built something purposely to kind of downgrade this, so you kind of forced to buy their glasses. I don't know, I'm not gonna pretend to, you know, that I know anything about it. But just keep that in mind. If audio is important for you, you have to buy wireless earbuds. Apart from that, I hope you learned something interesting. I hoped I shared something, you know, that you didn't know before. If you do have any questions, comments, if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. I want to be very objective. I want to make sure I cover all the aspects. And sometimes, you know, I'm only human. I can miss items, so I really appreciate the feedback. It doesn't really matter if it's positive or negative, neutral, whatever it is. I like to talk to you. So please let me know in the comments below what you think. Would you be buying yourself one of those devices, or you don't think it's a good idea? Let me know. And let's stay in touch. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.